Good morning. So today we will be going to Kumano Hayatama. Initially we were supposed to go to Kumano Nachi Taisha today, but because we have decided not to hike, we will be taking the bus from here, our accommodations, all the way to Shingu Station. So my accommodations, by the way, is Takata Greenland. It's absolutely amazing. I was not able to film anything when we were doing breakfast because we were just pressed for time. And at this point of our trip, we're taking it as leisurely as possible. Sorry, I'm getting out of breath going up the steps here because I think there's a very nice garden here on top. Yeah, so anyway, my point being is that I think at this point of our journey, we're just like onsen hopping right now because like for the past two accommodations that we stayed at, we just had a leisurely time. We were just doing hot pools, things like that, and enjoying nature. And we absolutely loved how this turned out. At least it wasn't hectic. And one thing that I'm so glad of is that despite on how far the places are, they're easy to get to, especially if you just follow the bus routes and if you just research the bus times accordingly. Yeah, so right now what I'm doing is we're just waiting for the service to pick us up because Takata Greenland here, which is an onsen, by the way, I'm going off at a tangent here. Their onsen here is amazing. They have an outdoor onsen, and I didn't notice it at night, but when we bathed this morning, before we had breakfast, the outdoor onsen was amazing. You have the view of the trees in front of you, and then you have the sky, and then you can actually hear the sound of the river because Takata Greenland here is by a river. Is absolutely beautiful. But anyway, so we're just waiting for our 9 a.m. Service here that will bring us to Shingu Station, and then from there we're going to be in Kumano Hayatama Taisha. We're now here at the bus stop near Hayatama Taisha Mae, and there's the bus. That's bus number 15 that we took. That one over there. You don't need to remember that. Just key in your destination here on Google Maps, and it's gonna tell you which platform, which bus number, and how many minutes it's gonna take. It's gonna be very easy, and you don't have to stress about it. That's what I'm so grateful for about traveling here to Japan, because public transport is very efficient, and everything runs on a schedule, which is actually so great. It really helps in being able to plan things planning A, planning B, and planning C, D, E, F, G routes while doing this. Alright. Okay, so we have arrived at Kumano Hayatama Taisha. Now, the most special thing about Kumano Hayatama Taisha is that it actually houses a husband and wife kami, which is the Japanese word for God. And I just found it so fitting that my partner and I are gonna whisper a prayer here because this is actually our 19th year together and this is our anniversary trip. So here we are asking for some blessings and for prosperity and for health so that we can go on and continue our lives fruitfully and hopefully to inspire others as well. Okay, so we just finished visiting Kumano Hayatama Taisha and we have decided to head straight to Kumano Nachi Taisha. So we are now going to catch a bus that will bring us to Shingu Station where we came from, and then from Shingu we will catch a train that will take us to Nachi, and then we'll have to take a bus to get to Kumano Nachi Taisha. And I think this is good for us to do now so that at least tomorrow we won't have to rush. And our accommodations is actually close to Kumano Nachi Taisha. So since it's still 10 in the morning right now, we might just at least, make good use of our time. Okay, so let's head over to Kumano Nachi Taisha. Okay, we made it to Kumano Nachi Taisha. See, hi. Now we have to go up these stairs to get there. Okay, so we were not expecting that we'll be going up this much stairs today, but I do have to say that as soon as you reach the top here, the view of the mountains in front of Kumano Nachi Taisha is absolutely beautiful. And as I've said in a previous vlog, now I understand why people believe that gods in Japan reside in nature. Look at that. Okay, I love this. So in front of Kumano Nachi Taisha, there's a thing called as a wishing stick. So for 100 yen, you pick up a blank stick and then you whisper your wish into the stick, and then after that you walk over into this burning mound. You toss your stick and that ritual will actually bring your wishes up to the gods and they will actually grant that. Isn't that so nice? I love doing things like this because it's rooted in spirituality. So we've just finished going around the Kumano Nachi Taisha Temple complex, and now it's time for us to head over to Nachi Falls, which is like, our second to the last stop on this pilgrimage hike of ours in Kumano, Kodo. And it's just located over there, and I believe we will be going down more stairs. So let's go, you guys. Alright, you guys, we made it to Nachi Falls, and it's just going to be right in front of me, and I'm gonna flip my camera over as soon as I get there. And I can't believe we've finished visiting all of the places of interest in this Kumano Kodo trip of ours. My partner is still there. Can you guys see the stairs that we had to climb down to get here, which means it's gonna be the same set of stairs that we're going to climb up to get to the main plateau of the area. Okay, so I'm gonna flip my camera over, and here is Nachi Falls. According to my guidebook, Nachi Falls is the tallest waterfall in Japan in a single drop, and it also drops in a straight line, which is considered to be sacred in Japan. And now I understand why, because I am currently in awe of this. Okay, so we just came from Nachi Taisha Falls, and what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be walking Diamond Zaka slope, because our accommodations is just right at the end of this trail, especially from this point, because I think people prefer to walk Diamond Zaka slope upwards, but we'll be walking this downwards. So here we go. Diamond Zaka. Okay. Now, it's usually advised that if you want to hike the Diamond Zaka slope, you should actually start at the Diamond Zaka trailhead, which is actually found at the base of the slope, which is close to the Diamond Zaka bus stop. But since my partner and I are already in this elevation, we're near Kumano Nachi Taisha, it's just a natural route for us to take. Although we actually do have the option of hiking this tomorrow, but we will take a pass on that because we've been hiking for days and we would just really love to take it easy. So with that, let us go through this very beautiful cobblestone lined trail, and let's enjoy the wonderful scenery of the trees around us. And the main reason why you're actually advised to start at the trailhead of the Diamond Zaka slope is because of this. You have here the Meoto Sugi. This is actually an 800-year-old husband and wife cedar tree, and they actually welcome you into the trail. Now the roots of these trees are actually gripping on each other under the soil, and that's why they're called as such, and it's such a sight to behold. And with that, we've finished our pilgrimage hike here at Kumano Kodo, and now it's time for us to head over to our accommodation, and it's just right around the corner, and we will call it a day. Hi guys, good morning. So it's our last day here in Kumano, Kodo. So it's day 5. We technically finished visiting the 3 temples yesterday, which I was not expecting. But I realized soon enough after we've gone through Kumano Hayata Mataisha that it was gonna be easy to get to Kumano Nachi Taisha. So that's why we powered through and we did it. So that in itself is actually amazing because today it's going to be a light day for my partner and I, which I think is absolutely great because we actually have to make our way to Kitanabe and we're going to rest there for the evening, and then the following day we would need to get on the train to get to Osaka so that we can catch our flight home. Yes, so it's actually been a very interesting journey, lots of learnings, and I'm not gonna share what I've learned so far because for sure by the time I get home back into the Philippines, my partner and I are going to be talking about this experience, and maybe in a future video I can share with you some insights that I picked up while doing this choose your own adventure of ours here in Kumano, Kodo. Now, by the way, my accommodations here, can you guys see that? Isn't that so gorgeous? I love it. We have tatami floors here. We have the beds there. Then we have a nice living area here. So this is called Hanako no Ie, or Hanako's home. And I found this on booking.com. It's actually so beautiful here. I would really love to come back here and stay for an extended period of time because I just love that the house is located here, in the mountains, and you're surrounded by nature. And one thing that's special about this is that the house is actually located at the very end of the Daimonzaka Trail, and it's just right here. So if I flip my camera over, so do you see that bush over there? If you go behind that, there's actually stairs that would lead you up into the Daimonzaka Trail, and you'll actually end up between the two big cedar trees there, the husband and wife cedar trees that has been around for 800 years. So this is actually a very nice premium spot, especially if you're someone who has walked from Koguchi all the way to Kumano Nachi Taisha, and you don't want to go all the way back to the city right after. This is actually a good place to stay at. So the only thing that made this accommodation less than perfect is the fact that there's no food service here and there are no convenience stores around the area. So when I read that at the description, I already had some plans in mind to ensure that before we actually get here, we would have food. And yesterday, after we came from Kumano Hayata Mataisha, then we took the train to Nachi station. I actually Googled and searched for convenience stores around the station, and there was none, but there was actually a farmer's market, which I was so grateful for because I was able to buy some sustenance for us. I had dinner and breakfast in our orange tote bag that for sure you'd have noticed us bringing around while we were walking around Kumano Hayata Mataisha. So at this point, we'll be checking out in under an hour, and we'll be heading into the general direction of Kitanabe. And since we had so much extra time today, what my partner and I are actually planning to do is we will head out to Katsuura first, and we'll just check out the area, and we can maybe spend a good solid 2 or 3 hours there. That's where we will have some lunch before we head to Kitanabe, and it's just going to add another dimension and facet into our vacation here. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna end my vlog here because for sure it's gonna get quite hectic, especially that we'll be leaving tomorrow, and I don't want to close out my vlog in a rushed manner. So I hope that you guys enjoyed me showing you guys our adventures here at Kumano, Kodo. And if you guys have any more questions about the things that I have learned while doing this, or what was the most difficult aspect of doing this, please let me know down in the comments box and let's have a conversation about it. Okay, all right, so that's it for me today. I'm gonna let you guys go now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that you're having a good day wherever you are. Bye.
Arigatou gozaimasu.